Hello indie game fans! For the last time this year, the best monthly new releases looks pretty good in December with a couple of long-awaited titles, so we start off with Shovel Knight King of Cards, the third full story campaign for the indie juggernaut that is Shovel Knight, being released for free for all existing owners. This time, course hits to roll with King Knight with his twirls and shoulder charges. Clemmygames have undoubtedly become one of the most well-recognized indie developers, and for good reason, since what initially started out as a cheeky wink and a nod to Mega Man has taken on a life of its own. Expect challenging platforming and combat, as well as a ton of treasure, armor, heirlooms, and more. Love the 8-bit look, and this expansion even comes with a collectible card game named Jousters. I still can't believe that Shovel Knight is going strong after all these years, but I'm overjoyed to see it doing so. Dead End Job is a cartoony action game where you play as a Ghostbuster equipped with your very own plasma blaster and vacuum pack. The art style has to be a highlight, really capturing that 90s cartoon feel, of which I do have a ton of nostalgia for, but the action itself looks suitably zany and fun as well. It is so colourful with a very green and purple colour palette, but I'm curious about the progression hooks in this. A Metroidvania where you play as a raccoon riding a llama, SUPEREPIC The Entertainment War is a satirical take on the gaming industry taking place in the year 2084, where video games are dead, killed by microtransactions and the greed of the literal capitalist pigs. This, of course, embodies my feelings towards the modern AAA industry to some extent, but beyond the satire, the concept of controlling a raccoon riding a llama is pretty neat. As a fan of Metroidvanias, this one is a no-brainer with its interconnected world and non-linear exploration, RPG-style upgrades, and pretty neat pixel art. Could be a little bit on the nose, but we'll see about that. The gorgeous runner EARTHNIGHT certainly captured the attention of many when it was first revealed, with the impressive hand-drawn art and animations. Dragons have taken over Earth and humans exiled to space, so you must dive and traverse through 5 layers of atmosphere to get down to Earth. Of course, there are a ton of enemies in your way as you alternate between skydiving and running on the backs of dragons. Levels are procedurally generated, allowing for replayability, but the look of the game is just so impressive. It does seem like it can be a little bit visually overwhelming at a glance, but hopefully we will all be able to focus and get in the zone while playing this, but it makes the list for excellence in visual design. Ever since the launch of Overcooked, developers have been chasing that local multiplayer chaos, so Tools Up is the latest contender. Up to 4 players must work together against the clock in renovating a house, demolishing walls, ripping out the flooring, and doing up the place nicely in order to hand it back over to the customer. Looks pretty chaotic, with certain actions like moving a sofa requiring the cooperation of 2 players, so it certainly is one to check out. Just a quick note, if you are new here and enjoyed the video so far, be sure to subscribe and check out the Discord channel while you are at it. Here's to more indie gaming coverage, so back to the video. Phoenix Point is the spiritual successor to the XCOM franchise, being developed by one of the original creators, Julian Gollop. As the Pandora virus began to spread and mutate creatures and humans, much of humanity was wiped out, with the sole hope being the Phoenix Project, an ancient failsafe against global catastrophe. If you played any of the modern XCOM games, you will know what to expect, with turn-based tactical combat, RPG mechanics as you upgrade your characters and base, management systems in diplomacy, and of course, horrendous aliens and mutant creatures to take down. There is a unique free aiming system here, allowing you to target your shots at weak points or to just aim at central mass, with fully modeled ballistic physics to determine your hit chance. There's been some controversy surrounding the game, again being crowdfunded on Fig, and then accepting Epic Games Store exclusivity, so take of that what you will. The original Jamestown was one of my favourite pixel art games of all time, and just as I put out a video questioning what the developers were doing, they came out to announce Jamestown Plus, an enhanced re-release with 2 new level sets, new ships, and a ton of improvements. Love the steampunk-ish setting in 17th century British colonial Mars, and of course, the shoot 'em up action is just awesome. The wonderful action-adventure title Skellboy is one which I've been looking forward to, but unfortunately will not be able to check out since it is launching exclusively on the Switch. Play as a skeleton on his quest to stop the court magician from destroying the world. There are different body parts that you can swap out, presumably affecting gameplay, and a choice of 5 weapons as well. It has a very interesting 2D but 3D look, and while not exactly high-bit pixel art, it sure is eye-catching. The trailer is also wonderfully done with such a catchy tune, so if any of you pick this up on Switch, do let me know how it is. Now, with the involvement of Keita Takahashi, one of the developers behind Katamari Damacy, this might arguably not be all that indie after all, but Wattam has been a long time coming and captures that same wholesome indie spirit that is not often seen in AAA games. Playing as a mayor who is in a dark place and feels sad that he is all alone, an unexpected reunion shows him that simply grabbing a friend by the hand and running off to adventure is the spark of joy that he needs. It's very wacky since it is all about holding hands and exploding together with a variety of weird creatures and items in the world. This simply looks like such a heartwarming game full of joy and happiness, and is bright, colourful and cartoony, which will probably make you feel pretty good, something that we all need every once in a while.
Where do you think you are?
The Steam launch of Hades is something which I know many of you are looking forward to, since this is a Greek mythology-themed roguelite action game from developer Supergiant Games, behind titles like Bastion, Transistor and Pyre. Having been on the Epic Games Store for approximately a year, this finally comes to Steam, and if you have not gotten the chance to play it yet, this has my personal stamp of approval. It is wonderfully fluid in motion, with such a nice variety of weapons, upgrades, enemies and biomes, with a fun progression system from run to run, and, as is Supergiant's trademark, superbly voice-acted characters and fantastic music. It is quickly becoming one of my all-time favourite indie games, taking the #1 spot. For more upcoming indie game new releases, check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.